hold it. I know you are looking at it like, which kind of compound still be this one again? Now, this is an amine compound. Now, some persons have difficulty in naming amine. This is a complex naming for some persons, but for me, it's very, very simple. Look at how you can name something like this. Very easy, straightforward. So we're going to be looking at some examples on how to name amines. First of all, it's just to know the rules. There's no big deal there. Now, this is simplified naming for you. Now, let's get it on. Now, look at it. This compound is an amine. You are shouting that, Mosjaro. How is it possible for me to get to know or identify an amine? It's very, very easy. Very, very easy. Now, look at something now. Just like drinking water, but you have to be very careful. Now, look at it. How do I know it's an amine? First off, amines have general formula of RONH2. Now, you already know that this RO here stands for an alkyl. Now, this is going to be fast and very concise. Now, this arrow here stands for what? For alkyl group. Now, you know how an alkyl group is formed. It's formed when one hydrogen is removed from an alkane specifically. Now, we don't have a problem or big deal with that. This is an amine. Now, this amino group is actually a derivative of ammonia. Now, if I want to be looking at the properties and all that, so I can say that amine is a derivative of ammonia, NH3, but that is not our course of concern today in this class. Now, there are three types of amines, just like for alcohols, there are three types. Monohydric alcohols, there are three types of monohydric alcohol. We have the primary, we have the secondary, we have the tertiary. Now, there will be a class for that as well. So let's get it on. Now, this is RONH. Now, if you notice this, different between this and this is that I'm having two alkyl here. I'm having one alkyl here. So this one is a secondary amine. Why this one is a what? A primary amine. Then, of course, look at this RO3N. Now, you can notice that I'm having three alkyls here. If you have eaten and if you are not blind, you would have noticed that this compound given to us is in confirmation with this general formula. Now, this to say this compound is having three alkyl. This one alkyl, this two alkyl, this three alkyl. So let's go. We have identified that this compound first is an amine. How do I get to know? It conforms to one of these general formulas, and these are the general formulas of the different types of amine. Now, let's leave that position. Now, let's go to the naming itself properly. Now, if we have stated these facts, the first thing to do, of course, while naming is to look for the longest continuous straight chain. Now, look at it now. Of course, merely numbering, of course, you can count your 1, 2, 3. If not, you go to kindergarten. Now, look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this is 4. I'm not counting this. Don't be an idiot. Now, I can't count the N. Of course, when naming, we only count the carbon atoms, obviously. Now, this is one. This is one. Definitely, the longest chain is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what's 4? 4 is butane. But be mindful that this is attached to this, so it becomes a butyl. So, this name is what? A butyl amine. Why am I adding an amine? Because it's having an amino group that we identified just now. Now, but remember, this particular amino group have two alkyl as substitute, two alkyl. And who are the alkyl? They are the methyl. Now, because the substituents are the same, I'm going to join them together in their naming. I'm going to specify where they are attached to. This methyl is attached to N. This methyl is attached to N. So because they are the same, I will come here and I say that we have N dimethyl butylamine. So this is the name of the compound, N-dimethyl. Now, this is the first naming we are taking today, but remember that this naming that we just took now is a secondary amine. Now, I've told you how to identify. So if I bring another structure here right away, for instance, structure number 2, if I'm having CH3, CH2, then we are having CH2. Now I want to make it a little bit different. Then we are having NH, then we are having C3H7. Now, for some persons, this compound that I gave here as The second example is quite complex, but no, it's not complex. It's so easy. Now stick around with Mosjaro. So as you're watching the videos, there are going to be a lot of videos coming up here and there. So you get to click and learn how to name compounds, not just naming. There are series of lecture coming out. Mosjaro is on fire. Now look at it now. This, check it, is an amine. Now, if you got the general formula I gave out just now on amine, you would have noticed that this amine conforms to the general formula of arrow to NH. That is to say, this compound is what is a secondary amine. Now, because it's secondary amine, remember, the first thing to do is to get the longest possible straight chain. Now, what's the longest? Yeah. Remember, I cannot say 1, 2, 3. No, you should be taken to Iran to fight war. Now, look at it now. Now, I cannot say 1, 2, 3, but because why? You remember that this CH2 is in bracket. I'm having 2. That is to tell me that there are 2 carbons here. So it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm counting this as 2. So if we have 4. Now, it's quite also longer than 3. So what should I take? Is 4. So it becomes what? It becomes butyl amine. That is not, this is just my parent chain, but remember this is a propyl that is formed from a propane is C3H7. So this one is propyl, I mean C3H8. So this one is propane, this one is propyl. So if I remove one hydrogen from this, that's how they got this. So because it's a propyl attached to N, it becomes N propyl butylamine. So that is the name of this particular compound. You can see the first one we named was a tertiary amine. The second one is what is a secondary amine. So these easy way on how to name amines. But let's take 1 or 2 examples. After we have done with that, we'll now go to how to name amine. Short videos that keep you abreast on naming of organic compounds, and we'll get to formulas, how to calculate stoichiometrical questions, and go to attack it quickly. Now look at these other compound. Look at this other compound. Look at this other compound. Very, very easy. Now you will be able to identify if this compound is a secondary, a tertiary, or a primary amine. Now, if we're having something like this, for instance, I'm having CH3, I'm having a bracket CH2, I'm having 4, then we're having CH2, I'm having N, and then I'm having C 4H9, and I'm having CH3. Automatically, you know that this is an amine. Yes, but what type of amine is that? Of course, you'll be able to look at it very well that this is a tertiary amine. Of course, you can see 3 alkyl groups attached to the amino group here. Now, how will I name the compound? Remember, look at the longest possible straight chain. Now, we have 1, then we have 4, then we have 5. So we have 1, that is 5, that is 6, and 6 is hex. So I will say hexyl, because it's an amino compound, hexylamine. Now, these substituents, unlike the first example that we took on tertiary amine, these substituents are quite different. So this is butyl and this is methyl. So I need to check alphabetically which one comes first between B and M. So you have to check it out. Of course, you know definitely is B. So I will come here and this butyl is attached to N. This methyl is attached to N. So I need to separate them and they are different substituents. So it becomes what? N butyl, N butyl, N methyl hexylamine. Now, this is the name of the particular compound of this particular structure. So, ladies and gentlemen, look at these. This is just a short video for you to know how to name amino compounds. Then after that, we'll now look at what amides. Now, remember, amides have a general formula of ROCONH2. Now, truth be told, I can actually get amine from amines. There's a reaction known as Hofmann's degradation. So I can actually get amine from amines through Hofmann's what degradation. Now, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, so watch out for other videos. Do well to subscribe after watching because there are going to be a lot of shortcut, quick videos. You don't have to make this thing difficult for you. Chemistry is so easy with Mosjaro. So I'll see you in my next lecture series.